Hello everyone, my name is Griffin and we are back with another reaction video. We are reacting to a video called FatTok thinks the word obese is a slur. Of course FatTok thinks this because they can't handle being called fat. They can't handle the truth. Obese is not a slur. For those with an actual logical thinking brain that live in reality, obese is a medical term for calling your ass fat. You're a fat ass. You're obese. And you should probably fix that by losing weight. Now, anyone that legitimately thinks obese is a slur, I'm sorry, there is something wrong with you. Get out of your fantasy world and come back to reality. But let's see what this video has to say, shall we?
Alright, so our next patient. Oh, hey, Susan. What appears to be the, problem? Hey there, doctor, mate. You alright? Yeah, I'm fine. How are you, Susan? Doctor, I'm gonna be honest, mate. Not too great. I feel a lot of chest pain, right? And my knees hurt when I walk. Okay, well, Susan, the problem with— But that's not all, doctor. I run out of breath really easily, and I just feel tired all the time. Yeah, Susan, I think I might know what the problem you're having is. And every doctor I've gone to about this problem has just been really fat-phobic. Always making comments about my weight and my diet, and it's just really insulting. Susan, I think—
The sad thing is, there are people out there who see, like, they actually see how big they are. They have joint problems. They have, they get winded very easily. They have like almost no energy or constantly tired. All this sort of stuff. They see themselves in the mirror and how big they are, and they can't seem to comprehend that it is because of their weight that all these things are happening to them. And they don't realize that if they just lost the weight, a lot of those problems would go away. They wouldn't have any more joint pains. They wouldn't be tired all the time. They wouldn't have chest pains. They wouldn't have trouble breathing. They wouldn't fall short of breath every 2 steps. I mean, there was a video I saw of this 6-year-old girl who was— it took her what seemed like 5 to 10 minutes to go up 5 steps. And they were on she was on a playground. She looked like a blown up Michelin Man mascot. And she was 6 years old. She looked like she weighed 300 pounds. I mean, you people, you see the problem. It's right there in front of you. It's literally under your nose. And you absolutely refuse to accept that the problem is you. And it's a truth that's hard to accept. I know it is. I mean, look at me. I'm big myself. I'm over 300 pounds, and I know, I see the problem. I'm always tired. I do have back pains, and I do sometimes have some joint pains. I do get short of breath sometimes, and I know exactly why. It's because I'm big. I am unhealthy. And I know if I lost weight and ate better, that a lot of this stuff would just go away. But at least I am logical enough, and I live in reality to realize that I am the problem.
Think they might be— No, yeah, I might be a bit plus size, but it's got nothing to do with my health. I don't know why they keep bringing it up. One doctor even called me the slur obese. Excuse my language. Wait, the slur obese? What do you mean slur? God, they're all so bigoted and closed-minded. Doctor, I just want a solution to my problem. Can you help me out, please, mate? Yo, you're joking, right? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, Starlight and Huey. Welcome back to the channel. Or if this just so happens to be your first time here, then I'm not even gonna say it, okay? You know. you know. And before people go in the comments and say, oh, you sound so different, why do you sound so different? It's because I got braces, I got grills, okay? That's why I low-key have a little bit of a lisp, alright? Some words are still kind of hard to pronounce, but to be fair, most of it is faded by now, but it's still there just by a tiny little bit. And if you say you can't hear a difference, then I'm gonna give you flowers, okay? I'm gonna give you roses and dandelions. I was supposed to take a 2-week break off YouTube so my speech could recover, but I had to make this video. This is just retarded. Now, before I go on and on and on, let me just preface this by saying I don't have a problem when people complain on the internet. Honestly, I don't. I'm doing it right now. If someone wants to sit down and complain about something, then honestly, I think that's perfectly fine. Sometimes it's funny, constructive, and actually entertaining. It only becomes a problem when you're crying and whining about something which you yourself can control. It's one thing if I complain about Cocoa Pops tasting like shit because they took the sugar out. I don't know why they did that. But it's different if I'm the CEO of Cocoa Pops complaining about the same thing. Like, do you not see how stupid that would be? You fucking made it, you twat. And similar to that, if you complain about getting made fun of on the internet while you simultaneously act like a retard on the internet, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, and little thing I want to say about that. The thing everyone, I know I say this sort of thing a lot, but the thing everyone needs to realize, if you put it out there on the internet, you therefore have no right to complain about what you put out there, about what people say, because it is the internet. Nobody cares about your feelings. People are going to say what they want to say out of either spite, pure hatefulness, or good intentions, or they'll actually have some good to say. You are putting this stuff out there on the internet. The moment it is uploaded to the internet, you have made it fair game for everybody and their mother to comment on it. And you can't complain. You're the one that uploaded it. Bitch and moan all you want, but you made it fair game for everybody to comment on.
I don't feel like I'm breaking new grounds here. This shit should be obvious. In conclusion, don't complain about things which you can solve through your own actions, okay? I thought this would be common sense by now, but clearly the internet has reduced all of our IQs by at least 200. And for some reason, I don't feel like it's gonna get any better anytime soon. But easily one of the dumbest communities on the internet is the fucking body positivity
Okay. People, if let's go back.
The dumbest communities on the internet is the fucking body.
I know I'm going to sound very mean, but if anybody out there, anyone at all, sees this and think it's beautiful, brave, powerful, and think this is okay for a human being's state of being to be in, you have a serious mental issue. This is, it's not okay. You are going to die decades earlier than you were originally meant to die at. Because you decided to think, hey, I'm going to take the easy route and blame everybody else for my own poor ass decisions. Now, if you want to stay in this and are happy in this, and you don't complain to the world and blame everybody else, and it makes you happy, fine, by all means. You know what? Stay like that. If you're happy, you're happy. Go right ahead. Live your best life. But don't go shoving it down other people's throat and getting in other people's faces, telling everyone in the world that you are brave, powerful, beautiful. You are the epitome of health or some stupid shit like that. I'm sorry, at that point, you need a slap of fucking reality. You need a goddamn reality check. I hate it when fat influencers come on places like TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Reddit, whatever other fucking social media outlet there is. They come on those things and tell people that being fat is okay, being fat is healthy, being fat is seen as brave and powerful and beautiful. I'm sorry, but you need to be kicked in the fucking teeth. There are children on very impressionable children on all of these apps and social media sites. And they're, like I said, they're very impressionable. They are sponges. They see this stuff and they think it's okay when it's not. Now, to lose weight, to become healthier, hang on a second, and to keep away from getting to this point, which it is amazing that the human body can even get that big. You have to take the path less traveled, which is unfortunately the hardest path. To get anything, nobody, I will say this, nobody deserves anything. If you want to get something, you have to work for it. And it is not going to be easy. And to get a body, let's say like Ryan Reynolds or Hugh Jackman, Chris Hemsworth, you know, all those people that have a built body, they're not, you know, really jacked, but they're built, they're fit. You have to actually work for it. Don't ever settle for this. This is a horrible state of being. And it's amazing that people are okay with being like this.
Positivity, fat liberation, body diversity, plus size, literally every single other word under the sun other than what they actually are. Obese. You are obese, okay? You're not body liberated, you're not plus size. A fucking large Coke at KFC is plus size. You're just fucking obese, man. You can call it whatever you want. It is not gonna change that fact. We've been over this several times. And like I've said in those previous several times, no one cares that you're obese. If you want to sit down and eat pizza and ice cream all day, go ahead, okay? We don't care. People only start making fun of you when you complain about being overweight. You can't cry and whine about thin privilege when you sit down and eat enough food to feed a family of 4. These people are so fucking tone deaf it hurts to watch. I've literally seen some accounts on TikTok where they'll go, oh my god, my jeans won't fit, they need to make bigger jeans, and then they'll simultaneously post what I eat in a day and it's the worst food ever. Like, the solution to your problem is right there. It's on your account, you fucking wanker. But the worst thing these people do is that they'll genuinely convince themselves that there's nothing wrong with being obese. Do I even need to go over why that just doesn't make any sense? I've done it before, so I don't think I need.
Yeah, there is almost everything wrong with being obese. A lot of the health problems and the vast majority of the health problems that people go through is because they become obese. And when you become obese, you are more susceptible to a lot of these sicknesses, to a lot of these body problems. And people are complaining that, no, it's not because I'm fat. Bitch, yes it is. If you lost weight, if you ate better, if you exercise, if you kept up with your health and never got fat in the first place, a lot of the health problems that you come across and deal with, you would not come across and have to deal with. And people don't seem to understand this. They refuse to live in reality. They refuse to accept the logic behind this that has been proven time and time again. It's both hilarious and infuriating to deal with these people who are so deluded and who are so delusional that they believe that it just cannot be because they are fat. And another thing that annoys me is when people say, I live in a bigger body. No, you're a fat fuck. You're a whale. Don't say I live in a bigger body. Bitch, please. I'm fat. I don't say I live in a bigger body. I'm fat. So are you. So is a vast majority of this world. Well, okay, maybe not a vast majority, but a good amount of people of the population of this world is fucking fat, and they refuse to accept it.
need to, but I will say that looking like this will and is going to kill you, and is 100% gonna cause you health issues down the line, like heart problems, kidney problems, joint problems, bone problems. Do I even need to go on? I mean, that short list is bad enough, but the full one is pretty fucking bad. Now, I'm not saying that people who aren't fat don't have these problems, but I am saying that if you are fat, you are much more likely to have these problems. That's not me being fat.
The other end of the spectrum is if you are also severely skinny or anorexic, you can deal with the exact same problems because your body is in such a weakened state that it does not have the energy to fight off all the shit that it has to deal with. So obesity and anorexia are two sides of the same coin, and they are just as bad as the other.
Phobic, that's me using what they taught me back in primary school. Children know this. Most people know this. Even you fat people know this. That's why they love the delusion of fat just being a body type. To which it's not. It comes with many different issues, but alright. They go as far as to call people fat phobes, which is a pretty rational fear if I'm being honest. No one in their right mind would want to look like this. Absolutely fucking no one. It's just in recent times there's been a...
You know, it's amazing. I know I'm pausing quite a bit, but it's amazing that people get to a point where when they were able to do things when they were skinnier, you know, like they were able to bend over, tie their shoes. They were able to actually clean themselves well enough. They were able to do all this sort of stuff. And the moment they ended up getting fat to the point where they were hindered, where they couldn't do this stuff anymore, they don't have this realization in their head that, oh shit, I can't really do this stuff that well anymore. And I'm getting to the point where I'm not going to be able to do this stuff anymore. Maybe I should start losing weight. And people don't seem to have this fear that at some point they're going to need medical assistance or just regular assistance to do everyday tasks. Tie their shoes, put their shoes on, get dressed, get up out of bed. Or take a shower and dry yourself, because if you don't dry yourself off well enough, you can get mold on your body, and especially for fat people, if they don't dry themselves off well enough, they end up getting mold in between their fat rolls, and they can get quite the smell. And people don't seem to realize this, and they don't. It's frightening to think about all the daily stuff you can do on your own. Like I said, you know, put on your shoes, put on your socks, tie your shoes, just walk around, go up and down stairs, get in and out of your own vehicle, get up and out of bed, do all this sort of stuff, all this menial stuff that we see throughout your life that you're able to do on your own, and you get to a point where you're so big or you're so heavy that you start having trouble doing this stuff, and then go even further to the point where now you are needing assistance just to do these menial things, these everyday things. And people don't seem to understand, or people don't seem to get the fear in their brains, like, oh my god, so if I don't stop, I'm not going to be able to do this stuff and I'm going to need help. I don't understand how people don't have that fear. They just see themselves getting bigger and go, I'll be fine. Be like, no, you won't. You'll need assistance. You'll die probably anywhere between the ages of 25 and 40 because of how horribly you're living your life and how horribly you're taking care of yourself. You're not going to be able to live a full life like you were intended to. It's a scary thought to have.
A really weird push into glorifying this stuff. The silly, health it all size, my body is beautiful dog shit that no one actually believes has, for some reason, become a main statement in today's modern media. And it just keeps getting worse. Here we have the word obese trending on Twitter. Or X. Or whatever the fuck people call it nowadays.
I refuse to call it X. I will always call it Twitter. Fuck calling it X.
I don't care. Now, to everyone who actually enjoys their life and doesn't use Twitter, you're probably wondering, why was the word obese trending? Well, now the word obese, the medical term obese, is considered a slur. Yes, a slur. The word should now be censored and treated like the...
Hang on.
A slur. The obese, the medical term.
Let's see here. Overview. Obesity is a complex disease involving having too much body fat. Obesity isn't just a cosmetic concern. It is a medical problem. Medical problem, people, that increases the risk of many other diseases and health problems.
Obese is...
Welcome to Elon Musk's Twitter, where literal slurs are allowed to trend. Alright, you fat bitch.
Considered a slur. Yes, a slur.
Mercedes claims that obesity, it's censoring obesity, really, is a slur used to exact violence on fat people, particularly black, disabled, trans, poor fat people, and offers a fat ode to care that students are instructed to analyze, taking note of which sections most resonate with you. Okay, first thing, violence. People have twisted the word violence and seem to not really know what violence is. Violence is an act that is purely physical. Unless somebody actually gets physical with you, it's not considered violence. Because a violent act is considered a physical act. You cannot get violent without getting physical. There's no such thing as violent language or violent anything like that. It's just being a dick. You cannot get violent without getting physical. Now, this obesity, really censoring it, censoring a medical term just because it hurts your poor little feelings? Really?
The word should now be censored and treated like the N-word.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Slur. The word should now be censored and treated like...
Obese is the N-word for plus size. Okay. Obesity and obese is nowhere near anything close to the N-word. Because the N-word was specifically made for black people in... Shut up, you dumbass phone. It was made as it basically an insult to black people during slavery. Obese is a medical term for fat asses. This is... feels like my IQ is just going down.
The N-word. Honestly, I couldn't make this up even if I tried. Even though I have zero expectations of anyone on the internet, I'm still somehow disappointed.
I can always identify someone who doesn't have a great grasp on history if they see medicalization as a stamp of inherent virtue. This comes up a lot when I talk about how the word obese is a slur. At least one person will always pop their head out of the ground to say, obese is a medical term.
Because it actually is a medical term. It has been a medical term for decades. In no way, shape, or form in this reality, in any logical reality, is obese a slur. Sorry, I keep getting notifications about power apparently going out in my area when I'm fine. Anyways, I don't get these people's fantasy worlds. I don't get it. It's like these people are jumping on a bandwagon just to be on the bandwagon. And in this case, the bandwagon for these fat fucks can't even move because it's so rooted into the ground because you can't move these whales. They can't go anywhere to see their own stupidity.
But it quite literally is. It says it right
Yeah, obesity is a medical condition.
here. It's a medical condition that people can get diagnosed with.
As if that's something
You don't really need to diagnose people with obesity when you can literally look at the person and go, yeah, you're fucking fat.
somehow makes it better.
No, that would just not make it a slur. It would make it a medical condition.
You know what else used to be a medical term? Like a lot of bad shit we don't say anymore. Because we realized it was stigmatizing as fuck and it actively harmed people.
You know what else actively harms people? Obesity. You fucking twat.
It is, you know what else harms people? Content creators like her. It is making society dumber, and it is making kids, the next generation, think it's okay to be obese. We are getting more and more snowflaked by the day.
And unlike words, obesity actually harms people on a biological level. And even if you call it something else like round or big-bodied or morbidly obtuse, it's not...
more morbidly obtuse. Oh, I so gotta text my brother that. That is oh god, that is so fucking genius. It's so fucking funny. My stomach hurts. More than I think about it, the funnier it gets. I just texted my mom and my brother. I'm not morbidly obese. I'm morbidly obtuse. Oh, my stomach hurts. I don't know why I find that so fucking funny. Oh, my stomach and back hurts. I should text my dad that too.
Change the fucking issue because
okay, hang on. Oh my god. Oh, that was fucking funny. Oh my god. Okay, well, okay.
or morbidly obtuse, it's not gonna change the fucking issue because it's not a derogatory term, it's a health problem. People are still gonna suffer from obesity whether you call it obesity or not. My god, I never thought I'd ever have to explain that.
Science and language are both constantly evolving and updating. The medical establishment is not a
Yes, medical science is constantly evolving because You know, there are more things to make, there are more things to improve upon. Science will never, ever come to a stop because everything is constantly evolving. Language is constantly becoming dumber and making us dumber. With every single generation, the language changes. With every single generation, new shit comes up. Every single generation, as after my generation, somehow the words have become more and more dumb. What the hell?
Exempt from this. If anything, it's actually a particularly strong example of how this happens. We don't need to look too far back into history at all to see how medical terminology and practices change.
Yeah, well, that's due to a little known fact called technology. The reason why medical practices change is due to technological advances. Back in the day, they didn't have technology to pinpoint each medical issue. But now we do. And with that knowledge, we can tell that being morbidly obese is not good for you.
For example, homosexuality is no longer diagnosed as a mental illness. Female hysteria is not something that's diagnosed anymore.
Ah yes, two psychological thought processes which don't inherently kill you. You know guys, I think I'm starting to see the relation between that and having plaque literally cover your organs. Yeah, they're definitely the same thing.
Cocaine and heroin are no longer prescribed as anesthetics or cough suppressants. Lysol cleaning spray is no longer used as a douche. We don't perform ice pick lobotomies anymore.
Yeah, it's because technology. And we found out that a lot of those things that she's naming off were harmful as chemicals. Cocaine and heroin were not used anymore because they found out just how incredibly addicting it was to people and the kind of damage it was doing to a person's body. And Lysol as a douche thing, I'm surprised it was used as that at all. All this stuff is evolving because we've learned a lot of those stuff was harmful or just wasn't really cutting it anymore. So it had to evolve. We had to change it. She's not really making a good case for herself.
And doctors no longer advocate for the health benefits of smoking cigarettes. Oops.
You know, it's almost like there's a way for doctors to tell if there's something biologically harmful to you. I wonder if they can still do that. Oh well, I guess not. Is her argument here that science is just outdated and that there's nothing unhealthy about being overweight? Because if that's the case, then she'd be wrong. The same way that we know smoking cigarettes is bad is the same way that we know overeating is bad. You'd expect a fully grown adult to know this.
More importantly, when a marginalized group tells you that a word or practice harms them, you can just go ahead and believe them.
Yes, yes. How about no? Just no. Because we live in a thing called reality.
Oh God, I love alcohol.
Here's a good example. If a marginalized part of society goes and says alcohol is good for you, yeah, we're not going to believe them because we know for in fact alcohol is not good for you. It can kill you and will kill you if consumed in excess.
I love me some alcohol. Listen, buddy, I'm glad to have you at the bar and all, but I think you've had too much. I think you might be an alcoholic. Hey, you can't say that word. That word is a slur. I don't appreciate that word. That word is very harmful. Listen, I'm sorry, man. I know the word alcoholic might be harsh, but this is your 13th drink. I think you might have had too many. No, I fucking haven't. You know what? I'm sick and tired of people using that derogatory term against me. I don't think you understand just how harmful that word is to me. So pour me another fucking pint or else I'm gonna put my boot up your bollocks. Dude, you're an alcoholic. It doesn't matter what word I use here, the problem is this guy drinks too fucking much. I don't understand how people can argue against this. My point here is you can call it whatever you want, it's not gonna change the fact that obesity is an underlying medical condition. And if you view that as offensive, well then that kinda contradicts your entire fat liberation argument. I thought it was okay to be morbidly obese. Why is it now all of a sudden a word that shouldn't be said?
Just a reminder that I am very fat and very sexy. and I am 100% glorifying obesity.
It's people like that that should not have access to social media apps. Yeah.
Oh my god. She just said the O word. Twitter, cancel her. No, but seriously, what are the rules here? Is it bad? Is it good? Is it a word that no one should ever say? Because if so, then I have a few replacement suggestions. FatTok, feel free to contact me.
Walking lasagna, salad dodgers, bloated Bowsers, Wally people, burger-bodied chunky monkeys.
But this all just feels like they're just ignoring their health. Like one big everyone close your ears and go la 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 la, I don't want to hear the obese word. To which, okay, fine, but that's not gonna change the fact that you are obese. Oh, sorry, I meant you're plus sized. And so is the plaque in your arteries. Good luck with heart disease.
Obesity is a noun, and it doesn't describe how large something is.
It describes how large your fat ass is.
Well, actually, the word obese is an adjective, and is a word used to describe a large human being. So, no, you're wrong.
Quick point, the word obesity, not obese, is a noun, but in this context, she was very clearly referring to the adjective's definition with the use of the word. I'm putting salt on Kirby. What the hell?
We don't say that that house is obese.
The word obese is used to describe people, genius.
The term obesity comes with judgment. Not a judgment of the size of that person, but of how they became large.
What are you talking about? By definition, it literally is used to describe how large someone is. At this point, you're just throwing in random shit in to make it sound like you know what you're talking about. The word obese is a chronic disease that impairs health, okay? You can try and shift the definition all you want, saying all this fucking judgment bullshit, but it's not gonna change the fact that being obese is bad for you. It's not neutral, it's fucking bad for you.
Word comes from Latin, meaning to overeat, which puts the blame on the larger person.
Where else is the blame supposed to go? Me? Is it my fault that you can't go outside without...
These people do everything they can to skirt their own, the consequences of their own actions. They blame anything and everything on everything and everyone else just so they can get out of responsibility for their own actions. There's only one way to become fat, and that is through your own actions. You have willingly decided to overeat on a daily basis for years to the point where you got fat. You have nobody, and I mean nobody but yourself to blame. Now, there are very, very, very few people who can say that it is not their fault that they became fat. And that is such a minuscule amount of people, because there is some sort of medical reason out of their own control. But 99.9% of everyone else who became fat was because of their own decision. They decided to overeat. They decided to not do anything about it. They decided to stay at home every day, all day, not exercise even for a second. And they make this decision every single day. They have nobody to blame but themselves. And yet they will do everything they can to make sure that they don't get any blame. And that it is everybody else's fault but their own.
Without a fucking scooter? Or is it your fault because you refuse to eat a salad once in a while?
As if food carries moral value. It doesn't, and we should stop using this word.
Well, obviously it doesn't hold moral value, it's just food. The food itself isn't the problem here. The problem is when you eat 3,000 to 4,000 calories of it every day.
Now, look, I understand that the unhealthy food is cheaper to get. I get it. I understand that. The thing is, you can still eat your favorite foods, but you have to learn to control how much you eat. Because if you wish to gain weight, you have to eat more than the amount of energy you burn on a daily basis. Because if you eat more than the energy you burn, eventually you'll slowly start to gain weight. If you eat just as much energy as you burn, you will maintain your weight. If you eat less than the amount of energy you burn, that's how you lose weight. Now, like I said, you can eat the foods that you like, but you have to stop eating it in excess. And that's what these people are doing on a daily basis. They're eating in excess and they're not exercising at all. They're not doing anything to burn off all that food they just inhaled. And therefore they're getting fat. Now I can say all this as a fat person. I'm over 300 pounds. I could stand to lose weight. I want to lose weight. I'm lazy as fuck. I find motivation very hard to keep. And I know I'm making excuses, but that's neither here nor there.
You can change the word all you want, the problem is still gonna be there. You fucking idiot. I don't like that word, can we change it?
No.
Mate, the word's not the fucking problem. The problem is that your internal organs probably look like Indian street food. You're the size of 3 people and most of you can't even sit down in a chair. You want to change the word to round, you want it to be plus size, you want it to be fucking morbid. It doesn't make a difference because the health problems that obesity cause are still gonna be there. Oh god, these people are so brain dead.
Why is it offensive to call someone fat who is fat?
Hello, certified fat person here.
Ah, God, at this point, I can just tell what kind of response I'm gonna get just from looking at them. I don't even like using this word, but this is literally the Karen haircut. Okay, well, let's hear this one out.
And I'm more than happy to answer your question if you really do want an answer, which I'm not so sure you do.
Just get on with it.
To start, I refer to myself as fat, and I don't care if other people refer to me as fat, and that's because I don't see the word fat as a bad word. Even if someone tries to insult me by saying you're fat, my response is yes and.
I mean, yeah, she's not wrong. It's not a bad word. It's just a pretty bad health condition. And also, if that's the case, then why the fuck does everyone get so upset about the word obese? Is it because obese sounds worse than fat? I mean, it does, but they both lead to the same conclusion. Heart disease.
It took a lot of work to get to this point, and that's because, like many other words in our language, the word fat has a dark history where it has been used to belittle, insult, and dehumanize.
But for the most part, to educate, because being fat is not a good thing. It's not a fucking body type like in a video game. No, it actually has consequences in real life. The way you talk about being fat is like it's like being short or having a big nose or having big lips or some shit like that. Those are inherent characteristics which you can't change. You are just literally killing yourself.
So for a lot of people, it's very difficult to shake this history when they hear the word fat.
Because it's an inherently bad thing. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, bone and joint issues, digestion issues. Do I even need to go on?
And if you want the word fat to be used in the same way as skinny, thin, fit, then you need to use it in a way that's not derogatory, which quite frankly, you did not do in your video. So if someone you deem fat prefers to refer to their body as curvy or plus size, they have every reason in the world to do so, and you need to respect it.
No, they have every reason in the world to do so. I don't need to respect it. I can respect it out of kindness and everything, but I don't need to. Nobody needs to respect anything. Nobody deserves respect for anything. You want respect for something, you need to fucking earn it. Now, if somebody wants to call themselves curvy or plus size and live in their own delusional fantasy, they can go right ahead all they want. I don't need to respect their decision of them doing that. I really don't. I do show people respect out of right away because that's the nice thing to do. Now, whether they keep that respect that I give them, that's up to them. Now, there is nothing wrong with the word fat. Nothing at all. Hell, centuries ago, I don't know how long ago, fat people were seen as desirable because they were seen as healthy. They were seen as somebody who was wealthy. So, but nowadays it's seen as bad because we learned that medically it is bad. You easily cut your life short because of all the diseases and all the physical problems that come with it. Now, like I said, nothing wrong with fat. Nothing at all. People are making this a bigger deal than it actually is. They're just so butthurt about being called out on their stupid, dumb bullshit that now they're trying to make it so that fat and obesity, all these terms for being a dumb fat ass, are banned and seen as offensive.
Thanks.
What difference does it make? Listen, mate, if you'd rather be called plus size, then yeah, whatever, sure, fine. The problems you get from obesity are still...
There's another thing right there. If you got fat to the point where you have to have oxygen to help you breathe, where you have to have a CPAP machine, these oxygen nostril things, you see this because you're fat and you don't think, hey, I should change this stuff so I don't have to have this stuff done. I don't get it. How are you people who are so fat and so full of yourself, haha, you don't see this, you don't instantly have fear that, oh my God, I've gotten to this point. I have to have oxygen to help me. I have to have an oxygen tank with me wherever I go. I don't get this. If I ever got to that point, I would be damn fucking terrified. And I would terrify my mother and my father so horribly bad. I could not do that. That is the one thing. I could never do that to them. I could never get to the point where I have to have medical help just to keep my ass alive. I could not terrify my parents like that. I love them too fucking much. My mom already worries about me too much. But this is just horrible. People get to this point, they don't see a problem.
Gonna be there. How many times do I need to say the same thing before it drills into your abnormally large head? Whether you call it obese or not, it's still gonna be not good. But I guess this rational use of logic can't be expected from FatTok. I mean, they all collectively thought it was a good idea to call themselves FatTok, for fuck's sake. But another app that rational thought process can't be given to is Twitter. Obviously. I feel like anyone familiar with Twitter could have probably guessed that at this point. No one uses their brains on there. People even found a way to find political discourse in a McDonald's advert. The people of Twitter even got mad.
I actually liked that McDonald's advert. I thought that was very wholesome. There's a lot of them on Twitter that are very porn-like.
For being a happy, loving father.
Hang on.
Advert. The people of Twitter even got mad at PewDiePie for being...
Let's see. You know karma is a bitch if not a myth, because if anyone deserves to suffer horribly, it's this sweetest. PewDiePie is truly on his loving husband and father era. The fuck? Why are you being mean to PewDiePie? He's just trying to be a good husband and a good father. Why you gotta call PewDiePie a piece of shit? What the hell did he do to you?
Being a happy, loving father. This app is actually hell. Like, actually fucking hell. I refuse to believe that anyone who uses this app is happy in real life. But of course, if they can make big issues out of literally nothing, I don't...
Hang on.
In real life. But of course, if they can make big issues out of literally...
I don't care what your political disposition is. If a hamburger commercial has ever made you feel an emotion, you are a degenerate pervert and your very existence is an affront to God. Huh?
Literally nothing.
There are actually a lot of ads in the West that depict happy families with small kids, but they are not designed to appeal to online Nazi perverts, so you don't notice. What the fuck? There are some people who just should not have access to the internet.
I don't see how any of these
I liked, like I said before, I liked this advert for McDonald's. I thought this was very wholesome.
are controversial by any means, but you wouldn't believe the fucking uproar when it comes to the word obese. Now, I look at dumb people all day. I look at silly people all day. And even I've got to put my hands up and say, these are some of the dumbest fucking retards on earth. FatTok is one thing, but Twitter is another fucking planet, man. Babe, obesity is a medical slur. Love your body. If you want to exercise and eat healthier, that's great. But don't be scammed and bullied into making yourself smaller. There is nothing wrong with being fat.
Except for the fact that it increases the probability of you dying before 30.
Well, I fucking beg to differ. This shit kills people, you know.
No matter how many times I see it, it is amazing that the human body can expand that much. It really is.
But I guess my main question here is, how is weight loss a scam? I mean, yeah, sure, there are some shady weight loss practices, but for the most part, the weight loss journey itself is all...
Yeah, don't get scammed by a lot of these pyramid schemes for weight loss, because there are a lot of them out there. Lipozene being one of them. But yeah, just do your research if you want to lose weight. Don't get pulled into these Ponzi or pyramid schemes for weight loss, because there are actual ways of doing it without having to go into these companies who try and sell you bullshit.
Always a good thing. It's good for your heart, joints, mobility, overall health. You get to live longer. You actually get to sit down in chairs and you don't have to worry about a weight capacity. And you can actually walk without having to waddle around like a fucking penguin. This isn't bullying, this is just facts. Oh wait, sorry about that. I forgot I wasn't supposed to use rational thinking when talking to someone who uses Twitter. My apologies. When you see the fatphobic slur obesity, replace the word in your mind with fat people or fat children, and then see how the headline or proposal reads.
It reads as factual?
Oh god. Anything you propose to do about the fatphobic slur obesity is something you're proposing to do to fat people. And the reason why the word is a slur is because it makes you forget that fat people are people.
Yes, they're people. But they are dumbass people.
Okay, no, mate. No. Whenever someone makes the statement that they want to get rid of obesity, they're talking about the illness obesity. They want to get rid of what these people have and not the people, because they will live a lot shorter lives if they don't get rid of it. Obesity isn't a group of people, it's a health condition. Whenever someone says I want to get rid of cancer, they're not saying they want to kill everyone with cancer. They're saying they want to get rid of the illness, you idiot. Don't even try and defend the fatphobic slur obesity by saying it's a medical term. It's a medical slur. Is that even a thing? Is a medical slur even real? It's either you have the condition or you don't. I don't see how that can be derogatory. It's the word doctors use to deny fat people medical care. Yeah.
Okay. If a doctor is telling you you're obese, they are not denying you any sort of medical care. They are telling you you're fat. You need to lose weight, or you will die an early death. They're not denying you anything. They're telling you what you need to hear.
We know it's used in medicine, causing they're using it to kill us. What? You know what? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Whenever a doctor gives a fat person health advice, they are just denying them healthcare. Yep, you're right. I hate the term so much. It's so dehumanizing. I felt like a fucking specimen when I read the note my doctor wrote for me in order to get reasonable accommodations at work. You know, just getting a little bit silly here. You can do things in your life. I don't know what they are. I don't know what they could possibly be. There are some things out there which can help you lose weight, okay? I don't know what they could possibly be, but they are out there, so if you don't like being obese, then you could maybe give it a try. Just an idea. The term obese is a slur, violent, dehumanizing.
Like I said before, you cannot be violent without getting physical. A term, a word, saying anything is not violence. Let's look up the definition of violence, shall we? Let me get it up here. All right, here we go. Violence, a behavior involving physical force intended to hurt, damage, or kill someone or something. Strength of emotion or an unpleasant or destructive natural force. Yeah, it's a noun. You cannot be violent without getting physical. Behavior involving physical force. That's what violence is, physical force. This is not violence because being obese is not a physical force.
It's anti-black. Well, as a colored crayon myself, I don't see how. How can a biological health condition be racist? I am losing faith.
Obesity affects us all. Man, woman, adult, child, old, young, white, black, yellow, brown, red. Does not matter what or who you are or what you identify as. Obesity affects us all if you make dumbass decisions.
In our species. Hey skinnies, the word obesity is a fat-phobic slur. Stop interacting with posts that use it as a way to combat fatness. I fucking hate y'all for that shit. If you're not fat, stay out of fat people's business. And if you disagree, literally block me. Okay, well you're gonna fucking die. See you later, bro. Calm down, calm down, calm down. It's a joke, it's a joke. Kind of. The term obese is a slur because it is used to dehumanize and harass us. It's not because our feelings are hurt by an accurate description. Well, it is.
It is.
I don't see how it could be anything else. It is an outdated term that does more harm than good. And as such, it should be eradicated. That's it. I've said it many times before and I'll say it again. Just because you get rid of the word doesn't mean you get rid of what it actually is. The causes and effects of obesity are still gonna be a thing whether you call it obesity or not. How hard is this to understand? It's almost like education is illegal wherever you people are from. My god. Mercedes claims that obesity is a slur used to exact violence on fat people, particularly black, disabled, trans, poor fat people. Oh god, I'm starting to genuinely feel my brain melt at some of this bullshit. What are you talking about? Honestly, what are you talking about? A medical term used to diagnose people is now claimed to be violent. This can't be real life. They want to be victims so badly. It's so fucking cringe. You'll never see anyone defend anorexia or chain smoking like this. So why do they do it for obesity? God, this is so fucking weird. Now I'm not gonna...
It is weird. You don't... It's like nobody defends alcoholism. Chain smokers, crack addicts, drug addicts, or any of this other stuff. Nobody defends this stuff so fervently, but they do it for obesity. Like, why? Why is obesity the one thing you people latch onto like it's like your life depends on it? I don't get it. It's yeah, all this other stuff yeah, people say let's combat it. But obesity, oh no 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 no. We have to defend obesity because being fat is healthy. Being fat is okay. It is seen as brave and powerful. No, it's you're just brain rot at that point.
Claim to be a medical professional by any means, because I'm really not. I only studied anatomy, physiology, and nutrition for around a year in college, right? But even with the little amounts of information I have on the subject, I still have more than enough knowledge to claim that being morbidly obese is not a good thing. It's not like a neutral body type like in a video game which has no impact on your gameplay. No, it's not like that. It's a serious medical condition and is terrible for your health. You don't even need to study anything to understand that. I feel like most people can tell what a healthy body looks like compared to an unhealthy one. As long as you have more than 2 lines on your brain, then you should be able to know this. And yet, we have these people. But not only has this ideology seeped itself onto TikTok and Twitter, but it's also seeped itself into actual medical professionals. Honestly, I wish I was joking.
If you are obese, please don't ever let a doctor or a healthcare provider tell you that you need to lose weight before they investigate further a symptom that you're having.
You have to be just a guy in a costume, okay?
I'm sorry, but if you are genuinely a doctor who has a PhD, who's gone to school for more than a decade for a medical license, and you tell people something like that, you need to probably give back your license. Because if you look at somebody who's clearly obese and you don't tell them that they need to lose weight or they could die early, just like this guy in the video, I don't claim to be a medical professional, but what is wrong with you as a doctor?
Okay, there is no way you have a medical license. Oh my days, how dare a medical healthcare provider provide medical healthcare? That's just ridiculous. If you are clinically diagnosed with obesity, then you should lose the weight. If a medical professional tells you to do so, then you should probably do so. A reliable medical professional who actually uses biology, not this bellend.
If they want to delay getting a lab or getting imaging or having you see a specialist, if they want to delay that because they say you need to lose weight first, you need to push back on that person.
No, you need to listen to that doctor and lose fucking weight. Because if you lose weight and those symptoms disappear, hey, guess what? You just saved more money on not having to do any more medical testing. You have solved the problem by losing weight. But if you push back and don't listen to that medical professional who's telling you that you need to lose weight and a lot of those symptoms will go away if you do so, if you don't listen to that, you are a fucking idiot.
Or you need to find someone else.
Why? If you're obese and you're suffering from symptoms and you decide to lose the weight, there is a high possibility that those symptoms can lessen down, making treatment a lot easier for everyone involved. Any doctor in their right state of mind would understand this.
Because your health problems are not just blamed on your obesity or the amount of fat tissue that you have.
A good majority of it, yes, is because of obesity. People have to understand, the obesity is not the natural state of being for the human body. We're not supposed to get this big. We're not naturally supposed to be this big. And yet we have a lot of fat people waddling around. A lot of them having to have walkers. They have to have wheelchairs. They have to have air tanks with them. And people don't see this and see a problem. They see something as it needs to be defended.
Yeah, you graduated on Roblox, bro. There is no fucking way you have a master's degree. This may be news to you, doctor, but being fat itself is a health issue and will be the cause of 99% of the problems these people have. You'd like to believe a doctor would know this.
You are allowed to have other health problems as well, and you deserve the respect and dignity of investigating those other symptoms as well.
Yeah, but what about the main symptom that is visible? Are you serious? If this person walks into your office and says, "Oh, doc, my joints hurt," are you gonna say, "Oh, let me go investigate that further"? No, idiot. The problem is pretty obvious. It doesn't need much investigation. You'd like to believe a medical professional would understand this, but clearly not. Investigate.
Here's the other thing. If you're so big to the point where you can't even fit through a fucking door and you still don't see a problem, I honestly, at that point, I don't know how anybody can help you. You are, at that point, a lost cause.
You'd like to believe a medical professional would understand this, but clearly not. Jeez, man. Us evolving backwards really was an understatement. We've got people genuinely walking around thinking that there's absolutely nothing wrong with being morbidly obese. And there's even people thinking we shouldn't even say the word obese, whilst also simultaneously thinking that there's nothing wrong with being obese. But if that's the case, then why shouldn't we be able to say it? I mean, is it a slur? Is it liberating? Is it fat phobic? I don't even fucking know anymore. Every time I try and understand this stuff, I just get a headache. But there you have it. Modern society. Calling people who are objectively unhealthy is now derogatory. And the word obesity should now be censored, but at the same time should be liberated and celebrated, and just, I give up. Every time I come back to this plus size agenda, it just makes less and less sense. But anyways, guys, this is in fact the end of the video, and if you liked, please leave a like, and if you didn't, then feel free to degrade me in the comments. I hope my braces and newfound speech didn't affect the video too much, but if it did, then sorry about that. I'm still in my adapting phase, so I'm not fully normal just yet. But like I said earlier, I had to make this video. There was no way I was ignoring this. But yeah, hopefully next video I don't sound like fucking Timmy Turner. But with all that said, all my links and socials are in the description. Feel free to follow me on anything. I hope all of you guys did enjoy the video. But until next time, make sure to drink your water and get enough sleep at night. Okay, goodbye.
You know why being overweight is one of the smartest things you could do? Just imagine a zombie apocalypse and there's no food left. Overweight people keep all the food in their belly, therefore, they would live longer than people who aren't overweight.
No, all the fat people will be the first to die because they don't have the cardio to continuously run from the dead. Just like in Zombieland, one of the rules, cardio. Your fat ass is going to be the first one to die. But that was FatTok thinks the word obese is a slur. Now, this video went on a lot longer than I expected because I didn't expect for me to have much to say, but I did have a lot to say. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you all think in the comments below. Do you live in reality like I do? Do you have a logically thinking brain? Do you understand biology and that this is clearly bad for you? Anyways, subscribe for more. I post 3 days a week. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.